The Northern Line is the busiest line on the network and we carry up to 1 million people a day. That demand is only going to increase.
The capacity of the Northern Line is very heavy use at the moment. The line's getting busier and busier every day and every year.
There are times where the age of our assets does tend to show.
Platform loading and crowding is very, very busy. The only way to combat that is more trains.
It's clear that the Northern Line needs to be upgraded. The demand of London requires us to improve our service in demand and capacity. Without the upgrade we won't be able to do that.
You're here to provide a service for our customers, but it's going to have a real benefit for our staff right across the line.
At the moment we're at Coburg Street Service Control Centre, looks after the control of the Northern Line under the old signalling system. It's been a great place to work, and for a building that's 30-40 years old, the service we're providing out here is amongst the best across the UK, so it's served us really well. One of the main things though about the place is it is old technology. It was stuff that was developed in the early 1950s, and the equipment really just isn't up to the job of keeping that number of trains running.
Today, conventional signalling, the way it divides and splits up the railway, we're limited on how many trains that we can run.
We have signal failures which can be quite prolonged and cause quite a bit of disruption to the customers.
So the only way to combat and get more trains is to remove that signalling and put in a transmission-based train control system.
It doesn't work on fixed blocks. We have a cable running along the track which tells the trains what to do, when to do them, how fast to go, when to stop. There's no signals by the side of the track. All the information the driver needs comes up on his train operator display in the cab. All the trains are in communication with each other, so by all this information flowing around we can run trains far closer together.
At the moment we have a signalling system where the trains can only run 2 trains in one particular area. With the automated system we'll be able to run at least 4 or 6.
It's a modern system, it's enhanced performance, whereas a human being will think station to station. It's going to do everything you need to do from where you leave right up to your destination.
Normally when trains leave Morden, they're heaving. With this new timetable, we're going to be able to improve the service.
It should create more trains and more capacity for our line. The train service will be more reliable as it's automated, and it should be more consistent for customers.
Over the years there's been an increase in customer demand, so there's definitely a need.
Part of the problem is getting people on and off the trains in time. Sometimes they can take 30 seconds to disembark, and other times it can take 2-3 minutes. But I'm sure if you had more trains, then there'd be more flow, so that would definitely be a step forward.
Customers will notice their journey, say from the south end of the line to the centre of London, will be 5 or 10 minutes quicker. The trains will be more frequent. It won't be waiting 4 or 5 minutes for a train. There'll be a train coming every 2 minutes, bang on regular as clockwork.
There'll be a 20% increase in the peak capacity and an 18% decrease in journey time.
It will be more comfortable for the customers, and we can get more people moving at a quicker rate to get them where they need to be.
They'll wait less on the platform for a train, and once they get on the train, their journey to work will be a lot less as well.
Very busy station here at Camden Town. The upgrade will make quite a considerable difference for us and mainly for the customer because there'll be more trains running.
For places like Camden, we need to make sure that the signalling system is performing in exactly the way we need it to get that number of trains through that junction and off to the various branches as they need to in the timetable.
It's just a few weekends that needs closure at Camden Town. The line was closing 46 weekends for upgrade work, but because of the way they're working, now it's reduced to 8. So that means that we will have a better service for passengers and less inconvenience.
There was about 125 closures on the Jubilee line, and on the Northern line there's only 25 closures, so the disruption to the customers is much less on the Northern line.
Our challenge is to manage the closures and the trial operations as we bring on new sections of the upgrade.
On the Barnet branch you may get a late start and an early finish, so there's no actual weekend closure, so it doesn't affect too many customers for their weekend journeys.
A couple of key reasons for that really. We're doing a lot of testings overnight, so we're testing the trains then, and we've also got testing trains in traffic hours as well, and this kind of approach to testing the system didn't exist on the Jubilee line. I often say that on the Jubilee line we suffered the pain and then the glory of a line upgrade, and I'm very hopeful that on the Northern line it will just be the glory.
The change for stations will be different. The system will be faster and more efficient, which means they get more trains per hour and the capability to move more people.
Tottenham Court Road last year, the station platforms were closed on the Northern line for 6 months for the installation of some new tunnel rings to make 2 new openings for staircases and step-free access. The staff did very well during the 6-month closure. The train service continued to operate on a daily basis, and the station operated as normal, with the central line still providing customer service through Tottenham Court Road.
We ensure that the station teams have the information and knowledge about how the system's operating so that they can give good quality customer information to move people effectively.
During the upgrade, it's going to be so important that we do our job even more than we do now, because the increase in customers that we're going to have, it's going to be phenomenal. So we really have to be on our game and really have to be at the highest standard we can give, world-class service.
We have worked really hard, right, to provide a better service for our customers. It's going to provide a much faster service where our customers will have a tangible benefit.
We've introduced the one team approach on the Northern Line upgrade. It's amazingly successful because it's helping us communicate better with Thales and LU, and operational upgrades have a real input in the direction and planning of the Northern Line project.
Ourselves and Tube Lines have worked together to install a significant amount of the system already.
Everyone is pulling together in the same direction. Things are going very well on the Northern Line at the moment.
In December, I stood on this platform whilst we were carrying out works during a blockade of 6 days, and our staff pulled out all the stops to make sure that disruption was kept to a minimum. So I know that we can do it and continue to do it.
The upgrade's happening along with the day-to-day operations. We've had additional staff resource in, and we've kept people involved all the way through the upgrade to advise them what their training is going to be, how we're going to help them through the training, and the fact that we need them to operate the new signalling system.
It'll be a different way of working for the staff. Fully auto means that you're not interacting with the train in the same manner that we have been doing for years. So that will mean new ways of doing things, new ways of thinking, new ways of concentrating, understanding new technology.
A lot of drivers, they're concerned that they're effectively relying on a train to do all the controlling and braking for them, and it's giving them drivers a bit of trust in the system.
The training course is based on the Jubilee Line training course, but with all of the extra things that we've learnt along the way that drivers have found useful to learn and to know when they go into revenue service.
We've got training and we've got scenarios built in to simulate all aspects of the railway and any problems they may incur under the new system.
We've got about 600 people to put through the training, which will also include a cab ride on the Jubilee Line.
If you ask any Jubilee Line driver today, they will not turn back. They love it. If you give them the choice to drive manually or in ATO, they will choose ATO.
You know, this is going to be an exciting time for a lot of the staff. For myself, I'm looking forward to it.
I've been for 22 years now. Yes, looking forward to it.
I'm really excited about the changes the Northern Line upgrade is going to bring. Bringing the Northern Line from the old into the new is going to be a huge achievement.
We've got members of staff who are service operators. They're spending time at Ashfield House, spending time on desk training, and then going on to further TBTC training at Highgate. So in total, it's nearly a year's training for each member of staff. We are now in the new control room for the Northern Line. Although the control centre is the biggest physical thing that represents the upgrade, we're not going to be able to work this control room successfully without the involvement of the station staff. The train operators will be communicating with the control centre every day, so the more they understand about how we work and how we're going to respond to the incidents in a different way with this system, the better the end result's going to be. There's an awful lot more training we need to deliver. We'll be having station supervisors up as well, getting them to understand how the new TBT system works. So really 6 months before go live is getting our familiarity to the system to the best level we possibly can, get the building ready, test that the building's ready and the systems are in place, and just getting ready for go live really.
This is West Finchley Station, where we'll be changing between the old colour light system signalling and the new TBTC signalling system, and we'll be doing that here first.
The first stage of the upgrade to be rolled out is next February, when we roll out the first section of line between High Barnet and West Finchley, and so that's the first that anyone will see of the upgrade running into passenger service. Beyond that, we have a programme that takes us well into 2014, but we're working very, very hard to bring all of those dates forward so that we get the benefits as quickly as possible.
It's a really exciting time. There's not many staff around to see an upgrade, because this is the first time, and probably the only time in the next 50 years, we'll ever have the opportunity to design a control room to meet our staff's needs.
I didn't move into the room until about 1976, so I was almost in at the beginning. I'd like to be 30 years old again, I suppose, and take on the challenge and try to help develop this new system and make it successful like I was in the beginning of this system, really. But, you know, you can only have your chance once, as they say.
I'm really excited about the opportunity that I and the Northern Line team have got to be part of this upgrade. It's going to be a huge sense of achievement and pride in delivering the upgrade, and to say that you were part of the biggest upgrade the network has undertaken so far.
It is time now that we took advantage of modern technology to help improve the running of our railway.
Their life expired, and they've been around for quite a long period of time, and now is the time to ensure that they brought up to standard.
It's key to make sure that there's people from the line that understand how the line works and then can pass on that experience to the upgrade team and provide that input. So yeah, I'm very excited to be part of that. It's a great opportunity.
Every member of staff has a key role to play in the success of this upgrade.
It will be tough, and obviously it's all a team effort.
We've really got to do our job and do it to the best of our abilities.
We've been the #1 operating line for the last 4 or 5 years anyway, so we can only get better now with an improved service.
It's great because it's a very old system. We're bringing ourselves kicking and screaming back into the real world and giving us some new technology which is going to only help us do our jobs to get customers where they need to be.